Hey everybody, and welcome to Binder Minder. And today is mail day. It's kind of been a slow week as far as mail goes. At least my wife did get an order in. I think this is the only thing she gave me from the order. I think she had a couple other cards in there, and then I got an order in as well for some stuff that's to finish up decks and some extra stuff, I believe. And the big thing here, though, is we did run out to our LGS, and we got a couple stacks of cards. So go through the mail real quick, and then we'll check out what's in the stacks there. Put everything in the sleeves, get it scanned in, binder as always. Anyhow, so we're kind of focused on trying to finish it up. A couple of the decks that we've got going on. My wife had her Merfolk deck and her enchantment deck that's kind of in the process. We do have, I believe her enchantment deck is down to, I think maybe one card. We still have to order one card. And the big thing for it was it's a 5-color deck. So trying to go through all of her lands that she's been stashing away. I tell her not to trade in any of her lands, dual lands and triumphs and stuff. So I kind of went through and picked through them and put together a little bit of a land base for her 5-color deck. Anyhow, so she got this Sterling Grove. This is for her enchantment deck, of course. And then the thing I needed for my Tempest Hawk deck, which is the last card I need for it, was this Balagad Recovery, the flip card. When I was doing that, though, I did order a couple other things from that same seller. They had a farewell. This is another one of those cases where it was, a pretty good deal on this, but they did charge a premium on their shipping. But they had low prices on everything else, so I was able to go through and pick up a couple of things for pretty cheap. So I think this farewell was like $2.50 to $3 or something like that. And they're normally in the $3 to $4 range. And farewells are pretty much, if you're building a white deck, it's kind of a go-to easy card. They had a few of the Midnight Hunt Mountains. I got 4 of those. 2 there, 2 there. I think those are like 10 cents. And then Temple of the False God. Not everybody likes this card when you're building cheap decks and need a decent land base, so they're pretty good for that. Ornithopter, always pretty useful if you got an artifact deck, and especially because it's 0 cost in flying. And then we got 4 more of the Midnight Hunt lands, the forests, and a negate. And I use negates in quite a few decks when I'm trying to keep the cost down. So that was an easy choice to toss one of those in. It was, again, I think it was like 10 cents or something like that. So the stack of cards that are going in to save for later, for my deck, for her deck. And then we got the orders. So for her order, we got a big old stack of cat cards. In fact, I finally got all of her cat cards. I finally made a list of all the cat cards that exist for her, and we went through all of her stuff and marked off what she's already got. So that kind of opened up the possibility of being able to start chipping away at that. So the first start of that was actually going and picking up this order. And then I put in a pretty big order. So next week's mail will probably just be all cat cards because I've got a big order of cat cards. I think 80 some cards coming. To kind of put a big dent in her stuff. The funny thing about the cat cards is I think the total price for the whole shebang, which is like 350 cards, was like $280, $300 for the cards, something like that. Not counting whatever we had, which we have quite a few of those more expensive cards, but like 2/3 or 3/4 of the list is all cards that are less than 10 cents on Moxfield at least. And when it comes to like our game store, our local game store, they have a base price of 25 cents. Being able to order all those cards can be kind of a challenge too. So with her stuff, we had some credit I had some credit through there, and so I put in an order of a stack of cards there, kind of ranging from the 25 to 50 cent range of stuff to try to, pick up things that we weren't going to be able to find a great deal online. So we'll just run through these real quick. Crazed Firecat, Pride of the Lions, Wirecat, Grizzled Leotel, Progenitor Ernarch, Sacred Cat, Bronzehide Lion, Fleetfoot Panther, Raging Cougar, the Johnny's Chosen, Fleecemane Lion, Healer of the Pride, Noble Panther, Sabretooth Nishiba, Balin Wandering Knight, Kusala Ambusher, Jedit Ojanen Mercenary, Denry Klin Editor-in-Chief, Trove Warden, Armored Guardian, Leonin Arbiter, sorry about that. Savage Firecat, that's such a cool looking artwork too. Spirit of the Hearth, Wasadari, Nikaru Queen, Wild Nikal, and Trails Ficaster. Fester, sorry, I thought that was a C. That's a pretty wild card, actually. Jared Leon, Titan, Myriad of the Cursed, Silver, Devourer of the Free, Uktabi, Wildcats, and then Lynx. So, pretty good stack of cat cards for her. And like I said, by next week, it should be even more. And then for me, well, I should say on my order, not necessarily for me. So I ordered a few things for her enchantment deck. Dryad of the Ilzen Grove or whatever. We always call this stupid sexy Dryad because we saw a Reddit post, I think it was talking about why does this artwork for all the versions of this card seem to be them trying to make sexy Dryads. And then so it always reminds me of stupid sexy Flanders on The Simpsons. Anyhow, Overlord of the Bilber Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. This is one of those cards where we thought we had it for her enchantment deck and we didn't. Leyline of the Guild Pack, same thing. I got a Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon for my collection. I got a Davari Imperial Tactician for my collection. The Emrakul, which means I'm down to just one of the Innistrad Remastered poster cards. Just one left. Street Wraith. So I picked this up. This is cheap. And this is a nice visual upgrade for... I've got a Nazgul deck that I've never shown on the channel. And so I'm going to toss that in there. They had some tokens that I needed for my eggs deck. I dug through all my stuff and I couldn't find one token for that deck. Normally I have everything I need and I didn't have any of them. So they were able to get all the stuff I needed for that, which was awesome. So we'll put that there. And then I picked up a bunch of these Wild of Eldraine Plains. These are just the lands that I'm using in my Tempest Hawk deck. I had actually sleeved the deck up and everything already, and I used some of these, what I had, and then I needed 7 more to complete it, and I just kind of used random lands, and I decided while I was at the game store, they weren't too expensive. I picked some of them up. So anyhow, I'll go ahead and get everything sleeved up, scanned in, and whatnot, and then we'll get the binder out. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and it's time to find the homes for all these things. Like I said, we didn't get too many collection cards. Haven't ordered any new Mystical Archives or anything like that. No new updates for that. And birds. I did add in this Morpheon. When I opened up the deck, I used the thick card in my deck itself and just saved this for if I need it later on. I did kind of move things around. I pushed the Birds of Paradise back here and made room for the Innistrad Remastered cards to be right here. So this is number 481. We got 484. Did I not put these in order? I guess I didn't. Oh, no, I did. These two right here are flipped. Get these fixed. And then this goes here. We just have just the one card. That's the Avacyn Angel card. Of course, it's, I think, the most expensive card of the set now. I mean, the Emrakul was up there. I mean, Hook Massacre is kind of up there, but Avacyn, I think, is the most expensive one. None of them are too crazy. Beyond that, you guys have seen me opening up the Secret Lair. That's all put up. I did notice something after it when I was putting stuff up. You see this white dot on here. This has got a bit of a misprint on it. I did contact them. They're actually sending me another Minds and Glow eventually. I don't think it'll... They said there's a pretty big backlog, so I'm sure it'll take a little while. But, yep, all that's put up. So the other stuff goes in the other binder. I'll be right back with the other binder. All right, I'm back. Special guest. Nothing's changed on the special guest. I haven't ordered anything new on that. I do need to focus on this. Like I said before, 10 new cards coming out each set. I don't think there's special guests for Final Fantasy, though. They're just doing that bonus sheet that has what would basically be the special guest. But thankfully, I guess, maybe we'll get a one set of relief. That said, I think I've got 5 out of the 10 from this new set, and 2, 3 left from the Aether Drift, and my wife has this one. So it's not that we're not making some progress, but there's still a lot of empty spots here. I need to, like I said, we've talked about it before, but my wife is going to. She's got a bunch of special guests, and rather than us buy everything twice, I think we were going to combine some of that stuff and move a few of her things over, like on loan kind of thing. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all of our stuff, but we do kind of have our own collections. But I haven't done that yet. At some point, we'll need to do that. That'll probably give us a better idea of actually what we need to finish the special guest stuff to get caught up at least. Anyhow. These, I have not put these in order. I've just been putting these in here for now. When I get a few more, when I get to the point where this page is full, I'll probably start actually rearranging them and putting them in order. Nothing new on these things. Most of the cards that beyond what we have here, as far as these Ghost Fires, they're a little too expensive for my blood, even with the Japanese versions. But they do drop once the next set comes out, typically, especially the Japanese ones that people can't read, or not everybody, but some people can't read. They do drop down in price a little bit and become a little bit more attainable for my purposes, at least. So we've got one card here, number 87, 75, 79, 84, 86. So we're in this area here. At this point, I don't know how bad I've got the number order messed up. I don't know if this needs to be moved over, but we'll put that there for now, and then we'll adjust later. I haven't ordered any of these. I do just have this one left from the showcase, and I missed out. I saw one of these selling for $5, and I should have just picked it up, and I didn't. And now it's coming back up a little bit. These were selling for $11 non-foil, and I saw one sell for $5, and missed that opportunity, I suppose. But there's just that one card left to finish those, and then there's a few to still deal with on these Imagine Critters. I haven't really put any big of a focus on picking these up. I picked up all the cheap ones and stuff like that. That's about the extent of it. Anyhow, that's it for today. Like I said, not too big of a mail day, but I got a few lands and stuff to put up. I already got all my decks ready. So we've got one card to go on my wife's enchantment deck. Her Merfolk deck is done. My Eggs deck is done. My Tempest Hawk deck is done. So we're kind of reaching a point where all of our decks that we're currently working on are kind of cleared out. I've toyed around with the idea of finally diving into the Templar Knight deck that I brewed a long time ago, and I've been collecting all those Templar Knights, which you guys have seen back here. At some point, that's probably what's next. I am still collecting cards for the Iron Man deck. The Iron Man deck was one of those where the total price of the deck was a little bit more expensive, and because they're all artifact based and Aether Drift came out, a lot of the artifact stuff was going up in price. And funny enough, I've seen some artifact stuff with Final Fantasy set too, so that might just push that out even further if it pushes the prices up. So we'll see. I may focus on getting some more cards for that deck though, just to finish that last deck that was kind of in the void and waiting. Anyhow, though, this is Binder Minder. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe to put us in your binder. Ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos, and we'll see you next time. Bye.